The story was nearly lost until someone whispered it to the flames. Pull up a log, take a seat, let the dark settle in, because the fire remembers what the world forgets, and once the fire starts speaking, it doesn't stop. Some names were never meant to be remembered, but tonight 5 people said them anyway. And the fire, it remembers them all. Welcome to Campfire Horror. Do not speak their name. Story 1. The name we chanted as a joke. We were just being stupid. Teenagers. Summer sleepover. 4 of us at Casey's place. No parents, too much sugar, and just enough fear to make us feel invincible. We were 15 and thought nothing could touch us. Then we found the book, or I should say, found us. Tea was in a box in Casey's basement. An old, warped crate sealed with rusted nails and some kind of wax. Looked like it had been water damaged 100 years ago and buried under mildew. But there it was, wedged behind a broken TV and her dad's high school trophies. We pried it open with a hammer and a screwdriver. Inside, one thing. A book. Thin, black, no title. The pages were soaked with smoke, burnt around the edges. Some of the words were in English. Others weren't in any language we knew. And scribbled on the last page, in red ink, fresh-looking ink, was a single name. Azylon. We said it out loud. Casey laughed. Sounds like a D&D villain. Then added, or an off-brand demon. I rolled my eyes, but something about it made the air feel thicker. We dared each other to chant it. Say it 3 times, Casey smirked, like Bloody Mary. We turned off the lights, lit a single candle, and stood in a circle. And we said it. Azylon, Azylon, Azylon. The candle flickered, then went out. We laughed. Nervous, but still laughing, until we heard it, a scratching. Inside the walls, long, slow, like claws across plaster. Casey's phone screen lit up. She gasped. There was a new note, open one she hadn't written. I hear you. We turned the lights back on, threw the book back in the box, covered it with duct tape, and swore we'd never talk about it again. But that night, I had a dream. I was standing in the middle of the road outside Casey's house, alone, and someone was standing in the trees across from me. Tall, shadowed, not breathing, but watching. When I woke up, my feet were dirty, my socks soaked with dew. The next day, Ben didn't show up to school. Then Casey stopped answering texts. By the end of the week, it was just me and Morgan. We met at a park, both shaking, both terrified. I think we called something, she whispered. I nodded. Then she said something I still hear in my sleep. I've been trying not to say the name, but it keeps coming in my mouth. That night, I burned the book, or tried to. It wouldn't catch. The fire touched the pages, but the flames curled away. Like the air around it rejected heat. I tore the book apart, page by page. The name was written on all of them, even the blank ones. Morgan went missing the next day. The police said she ran away. I know better, because the next night, I found a note on my windowsill, in red ink. 4 words. Say it once more. I haven't, not yet, but I hear it, whispered from the dark, echoed in reflections, hummed in voices that don't belong to anyone in the room. And sometimes, when I pass a mirror, I don't see my reflection move right away, like something is watching me from the other side, waiting. Because I think, if I say the name again, it'll finish coming through. Story 2. You're not supposed to write it down. I was in my final year of grad school, studying dead languages. Cuneiform, Aramaic, pre-dynastic, Egyptian, anything most people wouldn't bother remembering. I loved them. Symbols carved in stone, whispered across centuries. Every forgotten language felt like a locked door, and I wanted every key. That obsession is what killed everyone else in my seminar. I found the word in a footnote. It was buried in a 1912 ethnolinguistic journal Forgotten Scans from an archaeological dig in Tunisia. The page was misprinted, warped, but one word stood out, Belteshaun. I'd never seen it before. It didn't match any Semitic roots, no Indo-European trace. Just 5 curved symbols scratched by hand repeated in 3 different dig sites. 3 sites, 3 cultures, 3 time periods. 1 word. I should have left it there. I wrote it on my notepad. 10 minutes later, I had a nosebleed. Didn't connect the 2. Just tossed the napkin, drank some water, and went back to translating. I printed the symbol and added it to my wall, next to other unknown glyphs. That night, I woke up with my ears ringing. The fire alarm was screaming. My apartment was fine. My neighbors weren't. Unit 4B's kitchen had caught fire completely gutted. The only part left untouched, a scorched envelope on their counter. It was blank, but inside was a handwritten version of the word. My word. By the next day, I couldn't stop seeing it, in graffiti on the train, and a string of spam emails. Scratched into the wood on my desk, though I hadn't done it. My professor, Dr. Emmerich, noticed the stress. I showed him my notes. He went pale. Then said something I'll never forget. "You wrote it down?" I nodded. He backed away, then left campus. He was found dead 2 days later, face down in a storm drain with letters carved into his back. 5 curved symbols. The same word. I tried to delete every file, burn every note. But every time I erased it, it came back. At a new spot. On the back of my hand. Inside library books. Whispered in the corners of empty classrooms. One morning, I woke up to find it scrawled across my bathroom mirror in condensation. Viltashen. And next to it, "You shouldn't have written it." My classmates started bleeding from the mouth. One collapsed during a presentation. Another jumped in front of a train. One girl said she saw the word appear on her skin like a bruise that spelled something. They all asked me the same thing. What does it mean? I don't know. But I think it's not a word. I think it's a name. It speaks now. Not out loud yet, but in sensation. My bones feel heavier. My dreams last longer. And every time I try to forget it, it rearranges something in my apartment. I come home and furniture is facing the wrong direction. Doors I locked are wide open. Books I never bought are stacked on the floor, all titled the same thing. You know what it is? I haven't said it out loud. Not once, but I can feel it pushing through my throat. Behind my teeth. I've taped my mouth shut while I sleep, but I keep waking up with it written on my tongue. Backwards. Like I said it in reverse in the dark. So I'm writing this here. Because if you ever see the word, if you ever find it in the margin of an old book, or carved into a wall, or whispered when no one's there, don't write it down. Because the moment you do, it learns how to spell you. Story 3. The local legend nobody repeats. I moved to Wicklow Hollow because I was tired of noise. Tired of cities, tired of deadlines, tired of my face always glowing from some screen. I wanted silence, solitude, somewhere I could breathe. Wicklow was the kind of town where the post office closed for lunch and the gas station doubled as a coffee shop. Everyone nodded politely, but no one really talked. Except for once when I asked about the woods. That's when they got quiet. That's when they said, "We don't go past the church line." And when I asked why, they all said the same thing. "There's a name we don't say out there." I laughed. I thought it was a superstition, like don't whistle in the dark, or never say Macbeth in a theater. But they were dead serious. One man, Walter, the barber, pulled me aside after I'd asked again. "You seem like a good man," he said, "so I'll give you a rule. If someone tells you not to speak a name, it means they spent years surviving what that name brings." I didn't listen. Of course I didn't. I'm a skeptic. A documentarian, a born fool, so I filmed a vlog. The title was clickbait. Saying the name you're not supposed to say in this creepy town. I didn't expect views, didn't expect consequences. But I said it aloud, 3 times. Out loud, smiling. Nothing happened at first. A squirrel darted by. Wind picked up. I made a sarcastic comment about evil tree spirits and walked home. The video uploaded that night got more likes than usual. I went to bed feeling smug. Then at 3:12 in the morning, I woke up to screaming. Not outside. Inside. Except it wasn't mine, and it wasn't a voice. It was coming from my phone speaker, playing the video back. Only now my voice was gone, and in its place, something else was speaking the name. I tried to shut it off. The screen froze. The battery sparked. And the lights in my cabin all turned off at once. Then, behind me, a knock. Slow, rhythmic. But not at the door, from the wall. Inside the wall. I slept with a knife that night. Didn't sleep really. Just stared at the shadows and waited for them to move. By morning, the wall was untouched, but the inside of my mirror was fogged. I hadn't used hot water, and in the fog, someone had written, "You said it? Now it says you." I left town, packed a bag, and drove. Didn't stop for food. Didn't tell anyone. But as I passed the Wicklow sign, I saw something new. The name, scratched into the metal. And beside it, my own face warped, but mine spray painted in blood red. I stayed in a motel 200 miles away. Disconnected everything, but it still found me. The name was whispered from the static on the TV, scribbled in dust on the nightstand, drawn into the shower steam. And when I checked my channel, I had a new video uploaded. One I didn't record. It was just me, smiling, saying the name, over and over until my eyes bled. The locals warned me, but I didn't believe them. Now I understand. You don't need to believe in a name for it to believe in you. And once it's said, once it's spoken, it never forgets the sound of your voice. Story 4. My friend said the name 3 times. We were bored. It was college. And Lucas thought it'd be funny to film a Bloody Mary but make it cursed video in the dorm bathroom. He found the name on some obscure message board, buried under rants about old rituals and unsourced curses. The kind of post that ends with, "Do not repeat this name under any circumstances," which is the same as saying, "Please repeat this immediately." So he did. He texted me at 1:47 a.m., said, "Uploading something that'll go viral." I watched it 10 minutes later. It was shaky footage, low light, just Lucas's reflection in the mirror, holding his phone in one hand, a lighter in the other. He looked into the glass and said, "Morrigal, Morrigal, Morrigal." He laughed after the third one. Said something like, "See, total beast," but his voice didn't match the movement of his mouth. There was a delay, like his reflection wasn't sensed, and then the reflection didn't stop talking. Lucas turned and walked out of frame. His reflection stayed, still facing forward, still smiling, and it started whispering, not words I could understand, but they made my ears feel like they were vibrating inside. The video cut out. I ran down the hall to his dorm, pounded on the door, no answer. Then I noticed the light was on under the bathroom door. Inside I found his phone, still recording. But Lucas was gone, mirror unbroken, no scent of struggle. Except for one thing. 3 words were scrawled on the mirror's surface in black, dripping ink. Who said it? Campus police searched everywhere. They assumed it was a prank gone wrong. I knew better. Because the video, the one he uploaded, it changed. I went back to watch it again that night. This time, Lucas didn't say the name 3 times. I did. Same door and bathroom, same mirror, same clothes. But it was my voice, saying it, over and over. I checked the comments. People were laughing, saying it was an awesome deep fake. Except one comment stuck out. No profile picture, just a black icon. The comment said, "You've been counted." It had 0 likes. I clicked the profile. It redirected to an error page, and when I went back to the video, it was gone. A day later, a friend in another dorm said she saw Lucas in the mirror, just standing there, not reflected, just visible, and when she blinked, he was gone. Now it's happening to me. The reflection moves a little slower. Sometimes it grins when I don't. Sometimes it mouths something I haven't said yet. And twice now, I've seen another me in windows where no one should have been, waving, but not with my hand. I tried to film a warning. Tried to explain it, post the truth. But every time I upload, it's just that same video again. The one where I say the name. I've covered all the mirrors in my room now, but I know it's not enough because I still see myself in my dreams, sitting in front of a mirror that doesn't reflect, and saying a name that doesn't want to be unsaid over and over and over. Story 5. I heard my daughter say it in her sleep. It started with whispering. Tiny, breathy syllables, spoken through the baby monitor just after 3 a.m. I thought it was gibberish at first. Just a 6-year-old mumbling nonsense in her sleep. But then I started hearing the same word over and over again. One word, 4 syllables, in a rhythm like a chant. Heil Novi. Heil Novi A. Heil Novi. The first time I heard it, I paused the recording and rewound it. Played it back twice, 3 times. Then I checked on her. She was asleep, smiling. I asked her the next morning if she remembered anything from her dream. She nodded. Said, "He taught me a song." I asked who he was. She blinked. Then whispered, "The man who lives in the trees." We live in a cul-de-sac. No trees near her window. Just a fence and a strip of trimmed grass. I let it go. Kids imagine things, that's what I told myself. Until she started drawing him. Long arms, no eyes, all teeth. Always standing behind her in the picture. Then the dog stopped going in her room. Just sat outside her door and whimpered. Wouldn't eat, wouldn't bark. Wouldn't go near her bed. When I carried him in once, he yelped and scratched my neck like I'd thrown him into fire. I thought it might be psychological. I took her to a therapist. Told them I was worried about imaginary friends. The therapist asked what she called him. My daughter looked up and said, "He doesn't like to be called anything." But I heard him say Hell Nova when he touched my head. He said that's his old name. That night, I searched it. No real matches. Not in any mythology, not in any language I recognized. But then I saw it in a Reddit thread, buried under stories about ancient curses and pre-human gods. A user said it was the name of something that forgets it ever existed until you say it again. The post had been deleted. I stopped sleeping, checked the monitor every hour, recorded her sleep talking. The whispers were changing. Now they sounded two-toned, 2 voices. Hers and something deeper, like a growl wrapped in silk. She started waking up with scratches on her legs, hands trembling. And sometimes she'd speak a word before she fully woke up. A word I didn't recognize. One not in the recording. One I felt in my spine. I tried to move, packed up the house, got her in the car. But the GPS rerouted us in circles. And when I looked in the rearview mirror, she wasn't asleep anymore. She was staring at me, eyes completely black, whispering something under her breath. The same 4 syllables, Over and over, I screamed. Slammed the brakes, turned to look, she was gone. But the back door was still closed, and her seatbelt was still buckled. Now, at night, I hear the word spoken again. From under her bed, from inside the closet, from the corners of the baby monitor, even though the monitor's unplugged. And sometimes I hear her laugh, but it's not a child's laugh anymore. It's layered, mocking, echoed with something ancient. If you hear someone say that name, Helnova, if your child ever whispers it in their sleep, don't write it down. Don't repeat it. Don't try to help. Because once it's spoken in your house, it remembers you, and it wants its name back. Some names fade with time, others echo forever. If the fire spoke to you tonight, leave a comment, tell us which story called your name, like the video so the flame knows you were here. And if you want to know what else the fire remembers, click the video on the screen and watch the next story. Subscribe before the flames fade.